So the customer wants to put a door between this bedroom and this office here. It's a pretty simple project except for one thing. This is a load-bearing wall. The load path for this roof valley goes right through where the door is going. First thing I'm going to do is take a peek in the wall and see what things look like. So far nothing crazy like gas lines or a dead body or something. I'm going to make the top of the new door opening the same as the other door. And I'm measuring up from that spot so I can put in a 2x6 header and have some room to work. Now I'm marking off the rest of the rough opening. I'm using a handsaw versus something like a sawzall because it gives me a better feeling of if I'm about to hit a wire or something. I know on TV they break out the sledgehammers, but in the real world we want to make as little mess as possible. These are the structural screws I'm going to use to attach the header to both sides of the wall. Lumber's expensive right now, so might as well use something that's scrap. And now I'm attaching a header to the other side of the wall. I'm going to use a skill saw first to cut most of the way through the studs. If this thing starts to bind up, I know I've got some problems. Now I'm using a sawzall to finish the cut. Just to be extra cautious, I'm putting in the new stud where the door opening is going to go. This will take some weight off my temporary headers. And now I'm finishing the cutout of the studs. A little leverage makes things easy. I installed my jack studs in on both sides and now I'm putting the header in. This is a double 2x6 with half-inch plywood in between it. Tappy tap tap. Gotta celebrate, the challenging part of the job is over. More construction screws to attach my framing to the old framing. Door looks pretty good from one side. I'm trying to minimize my drywall repair work on this side, so I'm doing as little cutting as possible. I also want to use the existing baseboard, not have to replace anything, so I'm being careful about my cuts.
First one to walk through the door.
Here I'm cutting the existing wall bottom plate. All demos done. It's finally time to start putting things back together. I was careful doing the demo work so that when I put in the new drywall pieces, it would be easy. I'm definitely not a production drywall guy. If there's a decent amount of work, I'll sub it out, but for something like this, I'll do it myself. I'm slow, but I get good results. Plus I know that I'll actually show up. If there's a trade or a task that you sometimes sub out and sometimes you don't, put down in the comments, let me know. A light sanding and then a second coat. Unfortunately, I didn't make a trip out to the customer's site just to do these two tasks, but that's drywall work. It's now a day later. I've done another bit of light sanding and masked everything off, and I'm ready to spray some texture. I'm doing a little test on the plastic to see if it matches the pattern on the wall. And just start spraying the texture. This is drywall compound mixed with water till it's about the consistency of pancake batter. You gotta keep the sprayer going, moving in a circular motion, and just don't stop. You also want to spray some on the existing drywall so it kind of blends in, just in case things aren't exactly right. Definitely want to mask things off well so you don't get overspray in spots you don't want. I once got overspray on this guy's brand new white leather couch. It wasn't fun. I found this really cool door jamb material at McCoys, our local lumber yard. It was a laminated material and it was super straight and flat. Not all squirrely like white pine would be. I'm using shims from both sides to get this door jamb plumb. As soon as it's all good, pop a couple nails through the jamb and the shims. Nice safety glasses, right? I'm not like the safety police or anything, but I definitely wear safety glasses when I'm using a nail gun. And these shaded ones were the only ones I could find in the truck. 6-foot levels are a pretty handy thing to have. If you don't have one, I recommend you go pick one up. This is the top part of the door frame. The jambs came with a rabbet already cut in the ends. It's pretty convenient. The top should be level, but it never hurts to check. These shims fill in this gap between the rough opening header and this jamb. An oscillating saw makes quick work of cutting the shims. This is my method for installing casing. Instead of getting out the measuring tape, I mark where they terminate on the door jamb. Cut them all at once, and then come back and install them. Put a nail about every foot into the door jamb and into the jack stud, because this nailing adds some strength to the jambs. I don't measure the top casing either. I just put it up here upside down like this and mark off where I need to cut it. My goal is to always measure as little as possible. You're going to later see that this mitered casing kind of disappears because I had to change the way I mounted the door. Now some Drydex in all the nail holes. I was packing up for the day and look, I found some clear safety glasses. Because of the type of door I'm installing, I had to change the way I did the top of the casing. So I'm using a 1x4 where the track will get installed. I'm using structural screws to attach it to the wall studs. Following the provided instructions for the hardware, I measure up from the floor and then make a plumb line where we're going to install this track. I screw one side through the trim and into the stud. Here I'm using the holes in the track to direct mark where I need to drill some pilot holes. This hardware stack up goes a lag bolt and then a flat washer. Then there's a door stop that goes in on here that keeps the door from sliding too far. Put it through the track, and there's a plastic spacer, and you screw the lag bolt into the framing. And there's 2 more lag bolts to put in. To keep the door from swinging away from the wall, there's a bracket that you screw into the floor, and the bracket rides inside a groove that you have to cut in the bottom of the door. Plan A was to use a slot cutter on a router, but I happened to leave the 1/2-inch collet at home, so I was using the skill saw. These are the hangers that have the wheels that ride on the track, and I screwed them to the top of the door. This is the first time I'd ever put a door like this in, and I was really hoping things would go okay. Not bad for a rookie. I had to special order this door slab. I had to request a door with no hinge mortises, and also without any doorknob holes cut out. Now I'm installing the bracket that goes in the concrete. Mark off where it goes and use a rotary hammer to drill the holes. A rotary hammer like this is infinitely better than any hammer drill. Now I'm using a couple of Tapcon screws to put it in the concrete. The door seems to slide okay. After a little bit of alignment adjustment. These are some brackets you put on to keep the door from coming off the track. All in all, it was a pretty good project. Pretty fun. It didn't take too long. got to do a little problem solving with the low bearing wall and install a sliding barn door for the first time. Customer's very happy. They said the drywall texture match was perfect, and part of the quote was that they're going to do the painting, which is fine by me because painting is one of my least favorite things to do. Hope you enjoy the video. Please hit the thumbs up. Please subscribe. Take care. God bless.